We are too concerned with confidence. Our culture always puts a big pressure on being confident. We always tend to look as if we are too confident and hide our insecurities. We almost always fail to show ourselves some self compassion. I have been reading this book. It's titled as Self Compassion, and we almost always fail to show ourselves some self compassion. That's some kind of a bad thing for ourselves. Like, we went outside, we see a homeless person, we went outside, we see someone poor, someone is struggling, we can sympathize, but it's almost impossible for us to sympathize with our own struggles. We tend to judge ourselves too harshly, too harshly, and that is something we shouldn't do, because it is also important to be compassionate, especially to ourselves. We almost always lack self compassion for ourselves. We might show it to others, we might show it to family, friends, we might show it to strangers, to patients, all of the people, or even animals. Like, we are compassionate for cats, like we are compassionate for dogs. We lead them to shelters. We take ourselves, we take them into our homes. We feed them, we look after them, but we fail to look after ourselves. And I don't mean this in a narcissistic, selfish way, but important thing is we shouldn't be forgetting that we also are a human and we also deserve some kind of self-compassion. And before we can truly show other people compassion, we must show compassion to ourselves first. I think that is some kind of Eastern philosophy that is having a big impact on the people who lacks some self-compassion. And they say, in order to be compassionate, which is a very essential part of being human, you should be compassionate to yourself. And I think the Dalai Lama and the Buddha, they also care about this concept. They also did care about this concept. I think Western and Eastern philosophies are some kind of great minded people. They really do include some great minded people, but both of them had their deficiencies. They are sometimes inadequate to lead us the right way. So if we think there is something absent and there is a deficit, we should look other ways. We should look like we are a Western minded person and we struggle. Why not take a look at Eastern philosophies? Let's say we have an Eastern minded, let's say we have some problems. Why not look deep into Western philosophies? I think there are some major differences about Eastern and Western cultures, but as human, as people, we are able to understand them both. And that is really important, actually. Why that is important? Because it will make us grow as a human. It will grow us spiritually. Yeah. We tend to focus on what is seen, but we have some parts in ourselves that is run by brain. Some people call it soul, some people call it some electric shocks into the in the body, but let's don't call it anything, but we definitely have some thoughts as very wide scale. We definitely have some thoughts, and we also definitely have some emotions, and we can't see that. We mostly ignore this. We mostly ignore our thoughts and emotions in order to reach out to some material possessions. I don't say there is nothing wrong with having material possessions. I'm a person that is drive to seek out money and perhaps some material possessions that I'm aspiring to have and claim for myself. But this shouldn't stop us from following our other needs, fulfilling our other needs. Why not fulfill them? Why not follow them? Why ignore them? Why ignore those needs? There is no need to ignore them, and we can fulfill them. So this book have some kind of tests telling you to test yourself, has some quiz, some questions, some answers like A, B, C, D, E, and it will give you an idea before you finish the book. It will give you an idea of how compassionate you are to yourself. And I think it's very important. We can develop some self-compassion. I did struggle with this kind of self-compassion in my life. I think from a very early age, I did struggle, but I think I'm overrunning this. I'm overthrowing this. I am finally becoming a person which I think I should become. And I owe this to books. Yes, I had an education, and my college plus med school education is a really long time, but aside from medicine, most of the things that I've learned that had a significant impact on my life is from the books I read. I use some applications, of course. If I don't have some applications, I use this platform. There are some great audiobooks in this platform. Great ones. I think the most recent books I've finished in this month, The Psychology of Money in this platform. Self-compassion. I couldn't find this in this platform. I'm listening to this from a very widely known and I think world's best audiobook platform. Currently listening this amazing book, and I have read Corey Wayne books, and I think that guy has some amazing ideas. Amazing. Like, I think to myself, I'm healthy, I'm alive. What is the problem? Why do I care? From one of the recent books that I finished this month is The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F. And this book is amazing. He says we have this ability, we have this intellectual and emotional ability and capability to choose the things we are willing to give an F about, or let's say we are willing to care about. It's very amazing. We can literally alter our lives by choosing the things we are willing to care. So I had some insecurities, of course. I'm a person, but some amazing things either. So I think we all should be looking forwards for self-compassion and Even if we fail in some aspect of our lives, we should keep striving. We should be compassionate towards ourselves before we can show compassion to others. It's very important to show compassion to yourself because it's an essential part of human beings to have emotions. And emotional well being is really important. And I'll see you in the next video.